Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is BirdDogJon, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios, it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? We were just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. Feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro. What's going on, everybody? It is indeed time for another hour of BirdDogJon extravaganza. All right, I'm just gonna check the audio is good, so we're in good shape there. And now we are good to go with our one and only show this week, because we are doing Thanksgiving here in the U.S., which means that tomorrow we will be closed until basically the following Monday. We'll reopen on Monday, but we do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and just trying to spend some time with our families and have a little break from what is the chaos. And so looking forward to that. That'll be a good little break. We're going to do something a little bit fun with our family. We're not doing the traditional meal this year, I don't think, but that's okay because it's just us, so all good. We're taking a little different approach, so we'll see how that goes, and I will report back on Tuesday of next week, 1 week, right at this time, about that's all going on. So that will be fun, and I'll be able to give you an update then. Let me jump over to, well, first I'm going to jump over to vMix and make sure this is all working. Oh yeah, and there is snacks on stream today. First and foremost, though, let's move this out of the road. First and foremost, it was supposed to be last week, but we didn't get around to it. I wasn't feeling 100% anyways. I don't know what those are. We're going to find out. The word of John here is, hey, what's up? Another long day. Just try our yummy, spicy caramuchu and say hi. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to mean. But there you go. We have projected snacks on stream happening at some point during the day. So during the show. And the show we'll try and keep it to an hour and a half, somewhere in there. Let me add my camera back on here so that now you guys can see me when I'm on that screen. So yeah, we're going to do that at some point. And also in good Thanksgiving fashion, shout out to Balu, who has brought a pumpkin pie into the office, and so we're going to give that a go. That sounds great. If you know me at all, I'm a big pumpkin pie fan, so not a critic, just a fan. So here we go. We'll give that a go. Let me know in the chat whether you're over on YouTube or Twitch, how that sounds. It looks pretty good today, although it might be a little blurry if we blow it up. So we'll take a look. We'll get the playlist going, and now I will get into the chat. What's going on, David Garcia? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us over on LinkedIn. Appreciate that. Thanks for checking in on us. Am I working correctly here with Facebook? That's the next question. Let me go here. Okay, so I think this is David. He says, hey, let's talk about the X120 P120 promo. If I understand, I can buy the P120 at the X120 price. So the way that the post reads, to me at least, is that you can, if you have an X120 on order and you don't want to wait any longer, you may get a P120 instead. I don't know if all the details have been hashed out about that, and I need to touch base with my sales team because that was just launched yesterday. But we can definitely figure out whatever those details are if that's people want to know. But if you have one on order, if you've ordered an X120, you've been waiting for the launch, and there's an additional delay now, and you want to get your camera or get a camera, it sounds like Dan had posted yesterday that you can now get a P120 instead of the X120. So I don't know if that means, like, you know, as of today, so it's like if you place an order for an X120, then you don't get a P120 now. I think if you have had one on pre-order and you want a resolution or you want a camera, then that may be the way that it works. So Again, though, I'm not 100% sure as to how that promotion is going to work. So we shall see. Bonjour. What's going on, David? How are you? Thank you for jumping on here on LinkedIn. Oh, two LinkedIn people. Wow, two LinkedIn people. That's pretty impressive. What's going on, Jonathan? Hi, John. I just saw the 4K family recently got the new NDI5 update. Any word on the timeline for Flex 4Ks being updated? No, so there is no timeline per se. I know that they are one of the next converter sets in line to get an update, but I do not have a specific time or date in which that will happen. And quite frankly, we don't announce products on this show. We just support them. So the Flex 4K family is... We're supposed to be seeing NDI5 for it. I don't know how fast that's going to come. I don't know if they're working on it right now. I could actually maybe get an idea if they are working on it. And also forgive my voice today. I have been a bit under the weather the past few days. I've recovered now. Yesterday was fine. Today was fine, except the occasional cough. And I think it's the same sinus infection that my son has, but we shall see. We shall see. So hopefully that mute button worked. I wasn't monitoring it, but you know, one step at a time. So let's see here. If I go over to the engineering side of the biz and check out the project for this. Let me see what I can find out. Yes, so everything in this project is listed as NDI5, and so I believe that is the plan, that they will be working on that. Or that's the timeline for it. Yep, Flex is in here. So I'm assuming that that would be the next... I have to assume here, but I'm assuming that that would be the next transition NDI5. I know that the focus right now is to figure out whatever's going on with the X120, but also then to, you know, people who have been waiting for a really long time, they're kind of wanting to figure out what to do. And so that's what the promo was about, as far as I can tell. Hey, what's going on, Phil? Hey, John, you're 100% correct. For any customer who pre-ordered the X120, they can upgrade to get a P120 for the X120 price, or keep the X120 on order and or take $150 credits when they do ship. So there you go. That is from the mouth of a sales VP. So thanks for clarifying that, Phil. I appreciate it. So yes, there is. You can either keep the X120 order and get a credit, or you can get a P120 instead of the X120, which would be a upgrade because that's a full NDI camera, and that is essentially this camera. So that's a nice shift in terms of what to expect for camera quality. But hey, that's a pretty cool deal. So there you go. Sales has spoken. Where is that?
I have spoken.
Alrighty. All right. So I've got. Okay, so just out of the gates, and I should have grabbed some water because I know I'm going to start choking here soon. Out of the gates, we are, the U.S. support team is going to be on national holiday, right? So we do, Thanksgiving is this week, and so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will be closed. And then, of course, Saturday, Sunday, because we don't work on weekends. So it will be an extra long week off, essentially. But we'll be taking the next 3 days. And so be aware that if you submit a ticket, you may not get a response until Monday. That's an exception to our normal turnaround time. However, that is kind of the window that we now give for support for these cases where we have holidays and that sort of thing. Now, the next holiday that you need to be aware of is Christmas, because Christmas will be over a week long. So we'll be gone. We close on the Friday, which is the 22nd. And then I believe we'll reopen on the 3rd, which is the following Wednesday. So there'll be a week and a day or two in there that we will be closed. So watch out for that. Alrighty. Pardon my coughing. It's going to be an I may have to pause the show and go and get some water if that's the case, but we will see. We'll give it some time and see what happens. Feel free to put your comments in the chat. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. This is the live support element of the Bird Dog Support Department because we have a very small team, and we like to try and be available as best we can in ways that we can, but we can't do everything. So this is the thing that we can do. We're going to certainly try to be available twice a week, with the exception of this week, of course, because we're closed for Thanksgiving. But twice a week, 11 to 12, Tuesday, Thursdays, right here on BirdDogJon.tv. Where is that? This one. BirdDogJon.tv. That is where you can find us. Alrighty. I believe this is Anthony Barocas, who has been on this show before, actually. What's going on, Anthony? Hopefully you're doing well. I love my X120. How did you get your hands on one? You are one of those. I'm not surprised if you do, although there are not many out in the wild, so I would be surprised if you have one. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if you have one, but I would be surprised if they are out there, because there are not many in the U.S. market right now. Mostly demos. So I'm just kidding. I was going to say, like, there are a couple floating around. So if one came to you, you would be the guy it would probably come to. But, you know, there you go. Hello from somewhere in Kentucky. Hello. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining us, Heartland Media. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to have new faces. Maybe, or are you a returning viewer and you're just under a different YouTube name? All right. So yes, feel free to put your comments in the chat, whether they are questions about NDI stuff or whether they are just comments or things that you want to talk about. We can definitely do that here in the chat in support. So, oh, it's Joe Wiseman. What's going on, man? Different name. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're allowed to operate in multiple domains, right? Alrighty. So I'm wondering if doing snacks on stream early is going to kill me, or is advisable. I may need to just go and get water to handle this little endeavor. So we'll see what we can do here. We'll do that in just a minute, since I'm only 15 minutes in. Actually, you know what? Doing the snacks on stream transition will allow me to go and get water. So let's do that, and then we're free to do whatever we want here. So let's go there.
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience.
Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, God, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Oh yeah, snacks on stream. Here we go. All right, I am back, and I have a giant thing of water. So let's go with that. Now here's something strange. The snacks on stream bumper did not play in my ears, and it's probably because I don't have it selected. So whoa, the playlist is still going. Wow, got lucky there. Yeah, really lucky. Okay, snacks on stream is this one. Yeah, okay. It just was not. It went out on the stream though, right? I was listening to it on my phone, so it definitely went out on the stream. Wow, we got lucky with that playlist. All right, so let's go. make sure this is good. Okay, back to the chat real quick. Bird Dog cookies for the win. Cookies. Where am I finding those? Any work being done on tracking? I use it Sunday and it works fairly well, but my pastor likes to change directions quickly, that it doesn't handle very well. No. So we haven't done anything with cam control recently, I believe is what you're asking. No, we haven't. We've been talking about how it's implemented because there's basically two methods, right? You can do onboard tracking, and then you can centralize it in a single software to do it all. And we put it in on our software. Sorry, I won't hit my microphone. We put it in on our software, but we haven't done an update on cam control in a little while. So it depends. You know, I've used it too on a Sunday morning, and it's okay. You're right. If somebody makes sudden, like jerky movements, your camera gamma speeds probably have to be higher than are comfortable to watch, because there seems to be like a sweet spot, right, on cam control, where it's like 0.02 and 0.3 for the error correction, so that the camera doesn't move at every single step that he takes in the shot, but also then when he moves, there's, you know, it almost needs to be like a variable speed where it speeds up the closer it gets to the edge of the frame. That would be ideal. Well, that's not a bad idea. Good suggestion. I'll pass that on to the engineers. Good old Vegemite. Yeah. Vegemite was not good. If it's not allowed to stop before changing directions, it'll just keep going. Yeah. I think that's true. It might be a good idea to talk to the engineers about ramping and to see if that's an option, because I would much rather have a variable speed where it's slower in the middle but then faster on the outsides to mimic actual movement. So that's a good idea. We'll have to look into it. Hey, set up your studio with NDI Bridge and I'll run it from here. No. It's a closed VLAN, so we don't go out to the internet from here. Hey, great idea. The P240 does better than the 200. Oh, really? How so? What are the differences that you see? And by the way, today's mystery snack is some sort of spicy chips. So I'm going to use the trusty, dusty old Google, what's it called? Translate? Translate. And let's find out together what on earth this is. So let's cut over here to this shop. Why am I on here twice now? And magically I'm on here twice. Okay, cool. So, oh, I know why. Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Okay, so up here, done. Okay. Sorry, folks. All right, so let's find out what this is while we are sorting things out. So we're going to take a picture. And I'm just going to say, what? That can't be right. All right, hang on. Let's try again. Okay. Okay, so this thing claims to say column nooch is the name. Hot chili flavor is the flavor. And this little symbol up here says addictive with really excitable letters. So let's try one more time. Spicy and addictive. Hot chili flavor since 1984. What do we dare? Do we dare ask? The original spicy flavor, the original spicy potato, has been loved ever since its release in 1984. Chips with a crunchy texture that will excite your heart. Okay. Experience the spicy groove of the umami of meat and vegetables and the spiciness of chili peppers. Okay. Boy, please be careful. Do not cut your hands with the openings or edges of the bag. My goodness, that's quite the warning. Thanks for worrying about my hands. Okay, the rest is just ingredients. So Let's find out what we're in for here. These are apparently spicy, and they smell spicy. So let's find out. Chili peppers. It's like a mild barbecue. This is Japanese, right? Is that what we decided? Yeah, Japanese. Okay, so the Japanese need to go over and take a lesson on the bulldog spicy Korean ramen. We just ordered it on Amazon. This is not spicy chili pepper. This is extremely comfortable, mild seasoning. Tastes really good, but pretty much barbecue chips. So I had my hopes, you know, something was going to hurt me. It's not even making me cough, and today would be the day. So, it's good though. All right, well, not spicy at all. Zero spice. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's a 0. 100%. Whoa! Nuts, I just spilled my water. All right, and then the other piece of this extravaganza is, right here, is my pumpkin pie. So let's get into that. This is provided by Balu. So I believe the Japanese chips are by Balu, because he just came back from over there. And now, and he gave me this fork that he said is extremely sharp, so be careful with it. And also, it's got this crazy long handle on it. So this is perfect for, it's gold plated, so he knows me well. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So we'll cut over and enjoy this pumpkin pie. I am a pumpkin pie fan, so. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And if nobody eats the rest of it out there, I'll be eating it after the show. So, for those of you who are watching this show out in the office, you've been warned. It's pretty good. I approve. But to be honest, there are very few pumpkin pies that I do not approve of. So, there you go. Some random bag of chips that I picked up from Don Quixote. Possibly just location. The 240 is in the center, and the P200 is 30 inches to the left. It seems to be the 240 ramps to stop after movement, and the 200 is either on or off, if that makes sense. Yes, that does make sense, actually. Want spicy? Get some wasabi chips. Oh my goodness, those would probably melt my face. That one says mild right on the package. Oh, does it? Oh, that's a shame. It says spicy all over the package, but I don't detect any spicy. The funny thing is that we went to a Korean restaurant while in Japan, and they serve bulldog noodles. That's awesome. Did you order some? The fork is compliments of Timu. I don't know who that is. Pumpkin pie requires whipped cream. Not all pumpkin pie. This one doesn't. I'm finding that this one's just fine. Some people eat whipped cream for their Thanksgiving dessert and have pumpkin pie with it. They hand out tubs of whipped cream, or yeah, and then they have some pumpkin pie with their whipped cream. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you. Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving Day show. Pumpkin in Australia is butternut squash. Needless to say, they were horrified when I told them that we eat pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. This was in 95. This was in 95, so they were pretty isolated still. What's going on, Ian? Welcome to this show. Hope you're doing well out there in California. Good to see you. You've been on the show way more often, so that's cool. My friend did. He struggled. I had bulgogi. Is that how that's said? Also, don't know what that is. So you're way ahead of me on that in that regard. Happy Thanksgiving, Ian. That's for you. Good times. All right. Now, oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done the heat map yet. So let's see if I can get that going. Just give me a quick second. What is today? The 21st. Okay. So we gonna do this, put this up in here, and we're gonna make that full screen. Yeesh. Then we are accepting responses, so there you go. And if you'd like to play along with the heat map game, it is there, ready to go. Let's make sure that my screen share is working. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Fantastic. Love it when that happens. So where are we here? Outputs, desktop output. I changed this for the show that we were doing with Mr. Jake back on Thursday. So we did a show on Thursday about BirdDog Cloud, all the things BirdDog Cloud, and he kind of gave us a whole bunch of information about what to expect when it comes to working with BirdDog Cloud, maybe some concepts for implementation and what have you. So be sure after today's show, if you're interested in learning more about BirdDog Cloud, we did talk. We start about 45 minutes in, so you can scrub all that. And then Jake actually gives us a presentation on how he has cloud working, but also a bunch of applications that he's using it for. And so, yeah, it's really cool to have somebody be able to kind of like help us map that out. Matter of fact, there were several moments during that show. Sorry, just checking my audio. There were several moments during that show where I was figuring out applications in my own world as to how to implement BirdDog Cloud. Because I have a couple of clients that are interested in, this is just kind of personal business that I do, that are wanting to do remote sessions, like remote stuff all over the country. And we really just need it to be a flip the switch on and you're up and running type of situation. So I'm thinking we could actually do this now. It reminds me, I need to make a phone call this afternoon. But I think it's actually possible. Try and get something up and running for them in spring of next year. So that would be really handy to have and convenient, because it would be handy for me because they could actually do their remote productions at a fairly high quality, and I think then the whole system could be replicated over and over and over. So if they wanted more than one system, they could just buy the stuff again, you know? All right. So here's the heat map. If you scan this QR code, you can put your little pin on the heat map, and then your little pin should show up there. So all good. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. What's going on, Ian? Fun to have you around. How are things over at, was it Blue Pixel, or what was it called? Where did you go? Always happy to have you around, and we should talk more about what it is that you're up to. I would love to know more. Said it correct, and basically it's thin sliced Korean beef. Ooh, that sounds good. Hello, what's today's topic? Hi there from Cornwall, UK. Today's topic is why people should not use Facebook, but instead head on over to BirdDogJon, because I can't see your names when you're over on Facebook. It's all good. You can join us wherever you are. I'm happy to have you guys along. Today we are getting ready for a big Thanksgiving week celebration. Pretty exciting stuff to here in the U.S. So okay, as a Canadian who married an American, I have Thanksgiving in October. That's in early October. So like you can still go for like a walk or a hike or whatever, and the leaves are just starting to change, and it's great. Michigan, no, United States decides to have their Thanksgiving at the end of November, where you can't do anything and you're stuck inside with your in-laws. And so that seems to be kind of weird, a weird choice. Why wouldn't you have it earlier in the year where you could enjoy the nice weather? But anyway, so there you go. So I have 2 Thanksgivings. I did go back to Canada for Canadian Thanksgiving this year. I took my family. And then this year we've decided that we're not going anywhere, not going to do anything. And so we're not going to do the turkey, and we're just going to have some time at home. So that'll be great. Thinking about doing something special with the kids, so more on that on next Tuesday. But good times. I will say this about pumpkin pie. It needs a thin crust. If it's a really thick crust, then you get too much pastry and not enough filling. And then you're left over with all the bits of the crust that you didn't eat. Seems wasteful. But if you have a thinner crust, and this crust is pretty good. If you have a thinner crust, then there's a good ratio to pumpkin filling to pastry, you know. If I'm going to give my overall expert opinion, which I know that's why you're here today, there you go. It's all good. That's my pin, just appeared at the bottom left of the UK. Right on. Well, thanks for coming along. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Mr. Gary, welcome. Thanks for checking in on us over there in the UK. Let me know. Oh, and Phil is over there in Cornwall, UK. So that must. Oh yeah, there. Yeah. Okay. Phil knows his clientele well. That's why he makes the big bucks, everybody. That's why he makes the big bucks. He's not just a pretty face. I see you two know each other. Very cool. Feel free, look, if you have anything coming up, any events coming up, let me know what you're using Bird Dog stuff for. We're always anxious to find out what our clients are using it for. But also, if you have any issues, happy to answer those questions here. This is a live support show. The point is to be available a couple of hours a week so that you have somebody that you can directly talk to in a live forum. And more than likely, you are not the only person that has this question. So if you have, today we had a question about, you know, is cam control being worked on at all? Is tracking being improved? You know, if you have those questions, it's very likely that somebody else also has those questions. So feel free to ask. I need to like fix, I think my glasses are crooked. Feel free to ask those questions here on this forum. I will say that I'm not, it's not anything goes. Excuse me. It's not anything goes, but I will do my best to answer as much of your questions as I can. And so feel free to ask. And if I don't know, I'll genuinely just tell you, I don't know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. I wish I had a pretty face. Well, depends on who you ask, Phil. Depends on who you ask. All right, I am almost done this pie. It was fantastic. I think I'm going to need to make a pie or two this weekend, probably tomorrow, as a test kitchen for Christmas, because we are having family over at Christmas time, and we generally have a big meal. So I have Canadian Thanksgiving, early October. Then I have American Thanksgiving, end of November. And then Christmas dinner, which is usually a turkey in our house. So turkey. And we put a hurtin' on those turkeys. So the dinosaur came first. There you go. Yeah, didn't somebody say that it was the chickens are just tiny dinosaurs? Maybe they just evolved from ferocious creatures. No idea. No idea. I'm not going to pretend like I understand any of that stuff, because I definitely don't. Hey, but what I do understand is potentially your NDI question. So feel free to ask it in the chat. Don't say I never did nothing for you. That's or name that show. If you know that quote, you get extra turkey this Thanksgiving. So I'm working with Phil and hopefully Jake on a BirdDogCloud project for mid-January. Started playing with it. Great. That's pretty exciting. At one point, chickens ate us, and now we eat them. It's the circle of life. No, I think that's the 180-degree turnaround in life, if that's the case. Man, I'm glad I went and got that water because I'd be dying otherwise. All right, let's check out the heat map while we're waiting. Always fun to see where you guys are hanging out from. There you are. You're basically all in a straight line. I did go down to Tennessee this weekend. We had a little trip with the family down to that congregation that I work with down there. Excuse me, it's not really a congregation. They are more like a production studio, to be honest with you, because they are all online. Everything they do is production based. And so that's one of the customers that we are considering using something like BirdDogCloud or BirdDogCloud to do. But we definitely want and need resiliency in order for that to work. So we'd have to do some specific testing. Even after eating a mild pumpkin pie, these are not spicy. And to Anthony's point, they may say mild on the bag, but they also say spicy on the bag. So I feel like, no, this says, look at this. Hang on. This does not say mild. Hot chili flavor. Okay? Don't worry about the rum. That's different. It definitely says that it's hot chili flavor. It does not say that it's mild. So get out of here with that. It is 100% supposed to be a spicy chip, and it does not. So I'm going to call false on that, because it is not spicy. That's for sure. 100% false. Alrighty. Now, so we are coming up on kind of the end of the year. We've only got a handful of shows left, right? So next Thursday we'll be off. Tuesday we'll be back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 live streams left in the year. What is it that you guys want to cover? I mean, I'm happy to do topical shows. I'm happy to just do support shows where I sit and answer questions. Happy to demonstrate things, but we have 8 opportunities. One of those shows is going to be a bird dog kind of round table situation. Let me get back to YouTube here, because I typically do. All right, here we go. I typically do a end of the year wrap up. So I'll send out that invitation to most of the sales team, probably anybody at HQ that wants to stay up late. It's currently 3:40 in Melbourne AM, so that might be a little bit of a challenge to get anybody online from there. But yeah, it'd be great to do like a catch up and for you guys to see more bird bogs, more bird dog employees. Always good to get some people on the show. You know Jake really well. You've seen guys like CJ, and Senseless was on this show a few times. You saw him in the intro. So it'd be good to have some guys on the show, have kind of a sit down and chat about how the year went, and also what we're looking forward to next year. So we try and do that once a year, and I'll put that together. So basically I have 7 more shows. I have 7 more shows to figure out what it is that we want to talk about. And yeah, I want to throw that out to you guys, because what's relevant? What do you guys want to chat about? It's always fun to figure that stuff out. But I'd rather talk about things that are relevant to you. So now I need to get a few of our product lines in the office. I don't have, for example, a 240, and I don't have a working SDM card. It's not too shocking, because things come to support when they're broken, not when they're working, right? So we definitely have that issue where we get things that are broken. If we can fix it, great, then we have one. But if we can't fix it, then we still don't have one. So that happens all the time. But I need to probably do some product overviews, certain things, especially our popular cameras, the P2 120s, 110s, PF 120s, and P240, P200. Those would be a good topical show. I might do the 200, 240 if I get one, kind of pit them against each other, and then you guys could see the differences with the next generation of the camera. If I have 6 separate laptops, if I have 6 laptops, obviously they're separate. Separate one camera streams, and all have OBS NDI plugin turned on, so my main stream, who with vMix can use that camera as a source one at a time. Does all of them use the network even if they're not used as a source, or are they crowding the network even if they're unused? If you have anything decoding the signal, you have a connection in unicast. So if you have a camera on and OBS is watching that camera, you have 140 megs on your network if it's HD. If nothing is watching the camera, but the camera is just there, if it's plugged in but no one's connected to it, no one's watching it, then no, then it doesn't send the packets across. The X120 deal that Dan just announced is a great deal for the P120. I would agree. The P120 is definitely an upgrade from the X120. We can actually even check that out. This is basically that camera that that they're offering, and it's a great little camera. Works great. Nice little secondary shot that I use all the time. So let me see if I can load it up. Excuse me, those chips are killing me now. All right, here we go. P110. And now he's offering 120s, I believe, because the X120 is the 20 times. But essentially, this is the lens image that we're talking about here, which is most important. So, great little camera, easy to use, versatile. Has a little LCD screen on the front, lets you know what its short name is, what its IP address is. Yeah, really useful camera. So if you like the X120 and you had one on order and you don't want to wait anymore, you can pick up the P120 in exchange. But if you want to wait, you can wait and get a little credit too. The P200 zoom speed can be set much slower than the P240. Is that a mechanical difference or a setting that I'm missing? The P200 is basically the same brains as the 200, 240 are basically the same brains. So it would be weird to me that you can't. Is there a super speed setting and a standard speed setting on the 240? I don't have a 240 here, which is why I don't know. But apparently one is en route to us so that we have one. Inside the cam control options on the web UI, and I can put this up here so that maybe you guys can see it. Inside the cam control options on the web UI, yoink. There are superfine speed controls and standard speed controls, right? So, man, I don't know if that's on the 240 or not, but it should be. That's where you would change those speed settings. It also depends, though, on how you're recalling presets. Because if you're recalling presets via PTZ only, then the preset speed is here. And this information is not saved on the preset. But if you're recalling the camera setting, then the speed is recalled here. Okay? So if it's camera and you're saving your presets using the camera settings, your preset recall speeds will be referenced out of here. These are also not saved on the camera in the preset. So if these change, Your preset speeds will change. Same here, but this dictates the preset speed, not the other one. So, you know, there you go. There's your pro tip for today. I'm sure it feels confusing. We've only figured that out because we've had this question before. Both are set to super fine. I'm not too sure then. Again, it depends on how you're recalling the presets. So, in this 6 laptop case, it would be a HDMI camera for each OBS stream. And I would like to access that source every now and then. So I assume that if it's not being watched by anything and therefore not crowding the network. Thanks. Okay, wait. You have a camera, you have a BirdDog camera, or you have a laptop that's generating an image? I'm confused. If you have a... Oh, you said in this case it would be an HDMI camera to OBS. Yes, so if you don't connect to that OBS output, then right, you're not sending streams over the network. They can exist, but if you're not watching them, then it's not creating the actual stream traffic. Yes, that is correct. Now, in the instance, for example, where I've got vMix running and I've got 4 cameras coming into vMix, if I go over to my task manager and look at the network traffic, all right? Yoink. Well, that's interesting. Let me cut this. Let me just look at this real quick and see what it does. Okay, nothing really there. Oh, but this is Windows 11. And Windows 11 does stats wrong right now. So I'm not even sure if this is true or not. But it says I have 140 megs being used on the network, but then that's claiming, quote, 78% of the network bandwidth. So which is it? Because that's obviously not true. I've got 4 cameras coming into vMix, and when I cut over to them and I open Task Manager, I've got both of them open, sort by network. Yeah, it still claims 120 megs, so that can't be right because I'm looking at 2 of them at full screen. Let me open Studio Monitor and see what happens now. So Studio Monitor, still claiming 80% of the network. Yeah, this isn't right. Something's not right here. It's claiming 20 megs in Studio Monitor, and it's a full stream, so that can't be right. All right, sorry for the coughing, everybody. I'm trying to do my best to mute it. But still, it's annoying. Okay. We're rounding out on the hour, which is pretty good. I hope everyone is they're getting ready, at least on the American side, to have a happy Thanksgiving. Certainly want to wish that to you folks here stateside. And for the rest of you, have a great week, you know. Yes, exactly that. Thank you. You're very welcome. My pleasure. Always fun to walk through scenarios, but yes, it should not be always fun to... Whoa. Yeah, it shouldn't be duplicating any of the packets or anything like that. Well, it's not being actually used. So that is nice about NDI, is that it doesn't... I mean, it's still going to do broadcast packets, right? It's still going to register with the MDNS and all that sort of good stuff like normal, but the actual 140 megabit per second stream is not going to be active. Don't forget about my little heat map, everybody. I've got a little QR code here that basically allows you to join me in letting me know where you're at, which is what this is. So if you scan that QR code, it's a little 2-question survey. It just says, what country are you in and what's the closest city to you? And if you fill that out, a little pin will fall on the map. So cool stuff. Really like that. We also did try our spicy Japanese chips. Oh, my playlist is still on, which I'm not too convinced that we're spicy, or maybe the Japanese just don't really like spicy chips. So I'm sure they like spice, right? But yeah, because they seem to be a big fan of wasabi, which tastes like an electrical burn as far as I'm concerned. So, and Anthony had suggested that I buy wasabi chips, and so that would hurt me for sure. How have you done the map? So this is actually a Google form. Whoa, where did my face go? This is a Google form. I can show you a little bit about how the sausage was made here. So if I go to, if I just make this less full screen. So here, this is just the responses for the form, right? And then I take that information and I say show information from columns like B and C, which is country and state, or country and city. Show that information on a map, and then I say use a new tab for the map. So then when you run the screen capture essentially, and you make this full screen, then for the most part, it looks like a heat map. And I just colored the water blue just to provide some contrast. But yeah, you can also do the same style of map. We can edit the chart and we can change it to, oh, and here's the information, by the way. We can change the geo markers, a geo chart with markers. You can say just a geo chart, but I'm not too sure where the US went because there's a whole bunch of US, so like it's not perfect. But this is one per everyone that has chimed in. So there you go. I may just need to change this to, if I do, let me see here, responses from, oh, that's why. So here, responses from B. So there. So now we've got 6 people checking in the United States, and I got 1 person in Finland and 1 person in the United Kingdom. So there you go. That's an interesting way to do it. I don't hate it. I don't particularly love it, but there you go. Now, if you change this and you say with markers and you use this, then, and wait, oh, okay. So then you would want to pick responses from column B. And what's the story here? Why don't geo with markers, color with 1 column is required. Okay, well, anyway. So if I say like this and go back, there we go. I'm not too sure. Oh, responses from C. Okay. So I clicked on this and that's what it did. So it needs to be responses from C because on the response chart, column C is the city, you know. So yeah, you want to notify what cities they're in. So it's also nice because then if you wanted, you would have a spreadsheet where everybody registered. So this is a better like interactive heat map. How to get people to use it, I don't know. But this is another thing that I'm trying to figure out for some businesses that are doing live streams. They want to be able to ask their audiences to participate and check in. Right now their processes are pretty manual and I don't like that. I like this to be an at-will type of situation. So yeah, there are multiple ways too as well, right? So like on the Google form, you can ask whatever questions you want. I just went to google.com and said, can I get a list of all countries in the world? And it gave me a full-on list. It gave me a list of 250 different countries. Everything from Afghanistan to Vietnam. Now, I'm not planning on obviously having all those countries represented, but it's nice to have the option. And then you can always, put certain countries at the top of the list if that's helpful. So we seem to have a lot of people that check in from the United States and from the United Kingdom. So it'd be good to probably put them up like near the top of the list. But you can figure that out. Alrighty. Let's just do this. But anyways, that's how you do the map. That's how you do a little free heat map. If you look online for heat map resources, they all want, a fee. And this one is free. I can just reset it every week and people can check in. It's not super colorful. It doesn't necessarily... Now, you can also, if we edit this chart, we could say, we could go here and say, well, let's highlight these. Or let's highlight these, actually, like this. We want to drop this down and say data. Where is it? Insert chart. I want to use map, customize. Oh, bummer. Okay, so we want to say C. And this is, I thought I just did it here, yeah. Move to its own sheet. So now we have chart number 3. We're going to edit the chart. And in here, there is a way to only show certain countries. So if you wanted, you could set this all up on its own tab and then just have it cycle through. So then you could show Europe, you could show the United States, you could show South America, you could show Canada, you could do all of that and then just have it kind of go through its own flow chart. So GeoChart, let me think about how I did this. Add color, select a data range. So this would be column B, I guess. How did I do this? Let's say this then. 2 C1 C9. 1 column is required. Okay, so like this, customize, geo right here. So South America, North America. Then we could say don't aggregate, and we could say column C. Why doesn't it show the actual, well, you know what we could do? We could just look here. Edit chart. B1 to C111. Responses. Okay, so edit chart. Yep. Responses. Yep. Curious how he did. What? Get out of here. Aggregate. Color. Text columns can only be aggregated by count. All right. Edit. Color. 2 to C1 C109. One column is required. Well, what do you think I'm trying to do here, bucko? Form responses. Add another range. Okay, so that doesn't seem to really do anything. Okay, let's dump this. And maybe looking at the wrong chart, you know? Because if it's like this, select a column. What I should do is this. I should do like this. Insert chart like this and actually set this up in here. GeoChart, columns, select a range. Why is that invalid type? Why? Whoa. That's wild. Oh. All right, well, we will figure this out one of these days. North America. Because what I want to do is get this to show, that's the data range that I want. But I want to show the cities. Why isn't it, this is the city range. Add color. Just column C. Just says invalid. That's a shame. Well, anyway, I will figure this out, and we'll let you know. It's been fun to try and like sort it through, but yeah, my pleasure. Because that's what this chart's doing, right? So if we edit this chart, text columns can only aggregate by count. Form responses to apostrophe. Oh. So let's copy this. And let's say edit, data range. One column required. Yeah, something's up here. Set up GeoChart. There are the cities. Hey, got it. It's a little strange that it also shows move to your own sheet. There we go. So now, now we've got this, and we can just say edit chart, customize chart style, background color. I'd like it to be blue. There we go. So now we've got kind of a view here. You go to chart number 2, between chart number 2 and chart number 4. Basically see everybody's stuff, right? So can swap between the two. All right. All right, well, it is 12 o'clock. I hope everybody is planning on having a great week. We will not be on Thursday because it will officially be Thanksgiving. So there'll be Thanksgiving Day parade, and a lot of you will be having turkey and stuffing and all that great stuff. And so I hope that you're looking forward to it. And we will definitely plan to be back next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time right here on BirdDogJon.tv. If you go over to this channel, this is the YouTube channel where all support stuff out of BirdDog happens. And so if you wouldn't mind, you can subscribe to that show, and that would be super helpful. Shows that people are coming to the show, but also that it's a good way for you to know when we go live. So I definitely try and go live twice a week, but if we go live any other time, it will go to that channel probably. If it's in this studio, it'll probably go to that channel and a bunch of other places. So feel free to subscribe over at BirdDogJon.tv. I need to put my image in there. That used to be a QR code. So yeah, definitely do the BirdDogJon.tv subscription over on YouTube, and then you'll get all of our updates as they happen. Otherwise, I'm just going to double check the chat real quick. I think we're good. Yep, all good there. And we will look forward to seeing you in a week, next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Hopefully my sinuses clear up by then, and I won't sound so stuffy. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a happy Thanksgiving Turkey Day, and we will see you in a week right here on BirdDogJon.tv. Take care, guys. Bye.
This is magnificent.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.